Welcome to the Solid Sports video blog. This is episode 94. Today's date is Thursday, February 7th, 2019. Even though by the time this video is posted, it might be February 8th already. It's about 10 o'clock Eastern time where I am here in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm Troy West, and thank you so much for watching. You're watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel right here on YouTube and via the PlayStation Network. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel. Had a few new subscribers this week on YouTube, and PlayStation Network followers are slowing down a little bit, but that's picked up as well. So I just want to thank everybody for the support. Usually I have a little notebook. You probably can't see it here with my notes, but I don't have my notes, so I'm going to be pretty much doing this from the dome, as you know we say here. Off the top of my head, I'm going to be just spitting out sports topics. I usually start with baseball, so we will. Frank Robertson passed away today at the age of 83. Hall of Famer, first ever African American manager, and it being Black History Month, that's sort of apropos for the moment. So I don't know a lot about him personally, but I still will touch on that. Today was the NBA trade deadline. No major big blockbuster trades, but still some interesting trades as the Sixers improved themselves. Toronto Raptors made a move, Bucks made a move, so they're very serious about making a push to at least make to the finals or the conference finals this year. Boston didn't do too much of anything. Lakers are interested as well. Actually, they playing right now, the Celtics and the Lakers. On TNT. The draft lottery, the draft for the All-Star game was tonight. Giannis and LeBron picking their players. You could go look that up to see what the teams are right now. So I touched a little bit about that. And NFL, of course, is my first blog since the Super Bowl, so I touch on that. I give you my thoughts on Patriots. Once again, they're champions. Winning their sixth title as a franchise, and it's also Brady and Belichick's sixth title, as they was able to shut down the Rams winning it 13-3 on Sunday. A lot of people complained about the game, that it was boring, but I enjoyed it. It's definitely not the best football I've ever seen, but I don't mind defensive games, and it was still intriguing. But I'll touch on that. Probably touch on some things who I think would probably do well next year as well. But we'll start with the Frank Robertson news. Sad news in the world of baseball. Lost a legend for sure. Hall of Famer, first baseman, was a all-around hitter. Like I said, I never seen him play. Of course, I'm too young. I'm 35 years old. So by the time I started watching baseball, he was been retired. He was already managing then. But he's the first black manager in history in the major leagues, which is ironic. The Cleveland Indians was the team he managed for the first time. He didn't know the speculation about the team name and all that, so it's sort of like sort of ironic that was the first team, you know, to give a black man an opportunity to manage in baseball. But he's definitely, I'm from Baltimore, so he's definitely sort of an icon here. Definitely not on the level of Cal Ripken and probably Ray Lewis here in Baltimore, but he came here, read the article. Pretty much he started with the Cincinnati Reds. Reds thought he was washed up. He hit that 30 mark, which is, like in all sports, that's like the mark where you pretty much at your prime or on the way to declining. So the Reds thought they was getting a decline, Frank Robertson, but he had monster years here in Baltimore. Won the World Series here. Like I said, other than that, don't know a lot about him. Never saw him play, of course. I remember him being a manager. That's one thing I do remember, him being a manager. Just sad news for the world of baseball. And it being Black History Month. Like I said, I think it's, well, not appropriate that he passed away, of course, but appropriate to talk about him. But definitely somebody that pioneered others to get opportunities, even though, you know, the overall black communication, or minority communication, I should say, participation in baseball is dwindling, especially in the African American community. You get a lot of foreign Hispanics from the Dominican Republic and Cuba and anywhere else in baseball. But like I said, a lot of people, well, people that I know are definitely not baseball fans, but I am. Baseball was one of my first loves. Like I said, I always tell my story about me being a Braves fan. Spring training starts soon, so I definitely start talking about more baseball in the next couple of weeks. But definitely a sad day in the world of baseball, and here in Baltimore as well. I know they was talking about a lot probably on the local news as well, about Frank Robertson. But rest in peace. Definitely a pioneer, not just in baseball, but for African Americans like myself to get opportunities. So my condolences to his family, and he'll definitely be missed. I know baseball probably will do something for him this year. Probably have a patch for players to wear. I know the Orioles might do something as well for him. So rest in peace, Frank Robertson. Appreciate you pioneering for other African Americans like myself. So rest in peace. So we're gonna move on to the NBA. Like I said, I'm free balling. I don't have my notes, but of course the NBA trade deadline was today at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Like I said, no major trades. Of course, everybody was waiting to see if Anthony Davis would be moved to the Lakers in particular. Of course, that didn't happen. Pelicans, I think it's a smart move anyway. Gonna wait till probably the off season to try to deal them, because Boston can get involved, and other teams probably can get involved more as well. Till now, to me, the biggest move was Toronto getting Marc Gasol. I think that is going to be a major impact in these cups. I like Marc Gasol. I like his game. I mean, of course, you don't watch a lot of Grizzlies games unless you're a fan, I guess. But I haven't seen them play recently. But he sort of is a game sort of like his brother's Paul Gasol. Underrated shooter from the outside, but definitely a defensive presence that Toronto leads. Because Toronto loses some of their bench guys, including Valanciunas was dealt in the deal as well. I like Valanciunas though, but I think Marc Gasol is definitely an upgrade. So Raptors definitely putting all their chips in. Bucks made some minor moves. Don Maker was moved to Detroit. I think it was a 3-way trade with them. I think Phoenix was involved. But I think the Bucks got back that's a foreign guy. I think it's Nokic. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Miricic, who can shoot. Formerly with the Bulls. I think the Bulls was involved. So that's a big pickup for Milwaukee. And they did a couple of other pieces. But what, like I said, my thing with the Bucks is, can they continue? Because they've been scoring a lot of points. I think they put like 148 on the Wizards last night. So they score in the basketball more. That was pretty much their weakness. You know they're gonna give you something defensively, but the game, maybe it's just me, but this year there are a lot of high-scoring games, like games in the 130s and 140s a lot. So, but the Bucks, like they got that together. Giannis, you know, is probably his only weakness, which is not a huge. I don't think it's a big impact, but you know his jump shooting had to improve. But the Bucks is a team to definitely look for. They got the best record in the NBA quietly. I think just like I don't want to say the Hawks, because I think the Bucks are better. I think the Bucks can really do something in the playoffs. But I think a lot of teams are skeptical because of Milwaukee and haven't been here before. And really the last couple of years, to me, they underachieved. I thought they would be better last year and the year before, but they sort of was a 500 team. But they got bounced out the first round a couple of years. So there's people still holding out reservation for them. I think they're going to at least get past the first round for sure. Depends on the matchup in the Eastern semis. But I like the Bucks this year. I think they could do something. Toronto definitely a threat as well. Definitely a different team. It ain't DeRozan and Lowry. It's Kawhi Leonard and Marc Gasol and Kyle Lowry. So Toronto definitely a team to be reckoned with in the East. Philadelphia made a move with Tobias Harris, which is a huge pickup. And they also traded away the #1 pick Markelle Fultz to the Orlando Magic today. That was an interesting trade. But I'm not surprised by everything I heard about Fultz. Well, I ain't gonna go as far as say he a bust yet, but it's looking towards that. We'll see what Orlando could do with him. But I think he needed a fresh start. But the Tobias Harris pickup was huge for Philadelphia. The way he been playing this year, very underrated player. So he could maybe fit into that mix with Jimmy Butler, and of course Simmons and Embiid. So the Sixers also made a move. Like I said, the Celtics didn't do nothing. Of course, it was rumors that they might try to go for Davis now, but you know that Kyrie would have had to be involved in the deal. And of course, you heard all the speculation with him the last few weeks about him, about free agency. Will he stay in Boston? Honestly, I don't know. Like I said, I always guess these things wrong. But the way, just the vibe, I think he might walk. Or Boston might not want to pay him anyway because, which I heard this on sports radio and everything, that they might not mind Kyrie going because they really like Terry Rozier, and he'd be a much cheaper at the point guard position. And they got smart, so they got guys that can sort of like, I don't want to say replace Kyrie, but could probably fill that void. But Kyrie Irving is a great player. Of course, rumors is the Knicks. It's a rumor. Even the Lakers have come up as well. So he wouldn't mind playing with LeBron again. I guess he basically saying he missed LeBron. He don't know what he was missing, when he demanded a trade last year. So, but that's interesting. Boston to be interested from now to the offseason as well. But they're definitely still the 4 top teams: Milwaukee, Boston, Toronto, and Philadelphia in the East. And the bottom half, who knows how that's going to turn out, but we'll see. That bottom half before the 8th seed. So, and like I said, out west, not a lot happened out there. A lot of teams stayed packed. Of course, Warriors didn't do anything. There was no rumors about the Warriors. Nuggets stayed packed. Nuggets is a sleeper team to me. I think, a lot of reservation for the Nuggets is they don't have a go-to guy. Now, I haven't seen the Nuggets play this year, so it might be unfair to say that. But I don't think it's a guy you just give the ball to and they take over the game. But they're all around good team. Houston, of course, James Harden is still on his tear. But can he keep that up, or will he tire out again in the postseason? So it's still, to me, no legitimate threat to the Warriors. Lakers, of course, was trying to get Davis. Of course, they failed. They pretty much was going to give away their whole team. Lonzo Ball's hurt. Brandon Ingram, pretty good player. Kyle Kuzma. Got a pretty talented team, but LeBron James there, of course, you always have a chance. But of course, rumors and speculation about him not being happy with the latest way the team been playing. So we'll see what happens with the Lakers. So all this stuff is interesting in the NBA. And of course, I mentioned LeBron and Giannis picking the All-Star game tonight. So you go check out the roster. The funny thing is, like I mentioned, they made a trade after the draft. Ben Simmons got traded for Russell Westbrook, but I don't know. I glanced at the rosters. I think pretty much both teams, even I think LeBron's team probably a little bit better. But of course, it's an All-Star game, so you never know how things turn out. But like I said, we'll see how things work with that. All-Star game is next weekend, I believe, because this weekend is the 9th. So yeah, it'd be the next weekend. I believe the same weekend is Daytona 500 and NASCAR. So, but yeah, the NBA is about to get real interesting from now to the off season. Of course, you heard about the rant beefing again with the media. I think the reporter name was Ethan Strauss. Of course, he basically called them out, saying he don't even talk to them, but he keep writing stuff about them, which I understand that. If that's true, if he's not technically talking to them and just speculate. Well, speculation is going to happen. That's something Kevin Durant gotta get over. Kevin Durant is one of my favorite players in the league. And I guess my gut feel, I think he's gonna leave Golden State. Don't know exactly where he's going, but I think, especially if they win this year, I think he can feel like he can leave and go somewhere else to a new challenge. So, like I said, offseason is gonna be very interesting in the NBA. But we got a long way to go. We'll see how the rest of the regular season goes. Who will emerge as contenders? All that stuff. Got a lot to go through with that. So let's move on to the NFL. Of course, the NFL season is over. Super Bowl 53 is in the books. Wasn't probably the most exciting Super Bowl, of course, in history, but still, to me, was a compelling game. Patriots again do what they do. They win another one, 6 for the franchise. Of course, 6 for Brady and Belichick again. Rams just, I don't know, they just look like a dead headlights to me. Now, I admit I didn't see, well, it was nothing, I ain't missed nothing, but I don't think I've seen, I was traveling, trying to get home, and I worked that night as well, so I don't think I've seen the game till about from the second quarter on, and Patriots just had a great game plan, and it didn't stand out to me, which is amazing. Like, everybody complaining about the Patriots. Most Patriots have their dirty history, if you want to call it that, Spygate. The Deflategate to me is overrated. Like that, to me, I throw that out. I don't put too much credence into the Deflategate at all. Even if Brady deflated the ball, so what? Like what he did after they fixed that problem, he played even better. So to me, that was like, that wasn't nothing, even if he really did or not. But that's nothing. Spygate, it has some credence to it. You can't deny Spygate. That happened. But anyway, all the analysts were saying that the Rams, when it came to the line of scrimmage, Jared Goff in particular, which I sort of think less of Goff now. I thought Goff was turning that corner. But if this is true, and this might not be true, but none of the Rams came out and said this wasn't true. When in the headset, the quarterbacks could talk to the coordinator, the coach, whoever called the plays until 15 seconds is left, or the play clock. So what the Patriots would do, they would show a look within that before that 15 seconds came up, but then once the 15 seconds came up and the communication was gone, they changed, they look, and that's what confused Goff, and that's why Goff struggled the whole game, because McVay usually, basically, they say McVay would usually like point out, all right, well, look out for this coverage, look out for that. But once that communication, Goff had to figure out himself what to do, and basically he couldn't, you know. And the Todd Gurley thing to me is still bothering me. Like, was he hurt? Was he not? He's saying he was fine, and maybe that's not true, but I'm just going to assume he was hurt too, because I'm thinking this is the biggest game of your life. And if I wasn't hurt, I would have been, you know, trying to get back on the field. I'd have been in the coaches, been McVay face, whoever controls that, get me back in the game, man. Even though C.J. Anderson is not, no slouch, but Gurley is on another level. Like, they had to give him the ball more. He only touched the ball, I think, 9 times, so that's, to me, it's unacceptable. That they can't explain, especially if he really wasn't hurt. But I really just assume he wasn't right. I mean, it don't make sense at all. And if he wasn't hurt, then I don't understand that at all. Like, that's no excuse. But the Rams, you know, they like I said, Ashley, I went back and forth between the Rams and the Saints in the NFC, but I always thought the Patriots would come out the AFC. And just because the Chiefs, to me, like I said, their defense was too bad, was showed in the AFC Championship game. Chargers, to me, they had a decent team, but they was too injured. And like I said, the Patriots is just on another level when it comes to scheming and game planning. Like, they just 2 steps ahead of you every time. And I don't know why the Chargers, to me, in that game plays man the whole time. But Brady, like I said, you can't deny Brady his greatness. 6-3 in Super Bowls, 9 appearances, of course. Most all the time by 2 now over Montana and Bradshaw, who both went 4-0. So if that's the one little caveat, you can say Brady lost 3 of them. In this game, you know, he wasn't the sharpest, but he made big throws. Gronkowski made big catches. Alderman, of course, was the MVP. He kept going over the middle like always to getting catches. The Patriots they just outsmart you. That's why you got to pretty much beat them up to beat them. Even though the Rams defense didn't play bad at all. Like, I think they had a good game plan. They let Edelman get to his. They just were saying we're gonna keep everything in front of us. But the Patriots, you know, to me, Michelle was a huge part of the game as well with the running game. I think the New England running game was huge. I think if the Rams would have been able to slow down and run a little bit more, I think, you know, they would have had a better chance. But Michelle, even Burkhead, James White was sort of neutralized. That's why I thought the Rams did a good job. But Patriots just was better, especially with defense. I can't believe. It's still hard for me to believe they held them to just 3 points. But like I said, if that real big caveat was true about the headset with Goff, and he couldn't figure out the defenses after 15 seconds. If that's the case, I guess run a hurry up offense. I don't know. I was sort of shocked by that part. That they say to slow them down like that. But you gotta give the Patriots credit. They do it again. And not to toot my own horn, but I was right about the Patriots. I was right about the Rams originally. I picked the Rams in the preseason. Rams and Patriots, I picked that matchup. And Patriots win. I picked all that right in the preseason. I changed my pick to the Saints. And then, of course the Saints lost. Or the Saints got to the NFC Championship, so I was sort of right, but you don't get credit when you're right. People come at you when you're wrong. So, but still, a good NFL season overall. If you take it from week 1 to Super Bowl, it was a great season. One of the most exciting seasons in a while. So, but next year, of course, I think Vegas got the Chiefs as the favorites. They come out the AFC. I think they'll win it all too. I think they're favorites. And I mean, I can't argue too much about that. The Chiefs just gotta get their defense together, because Mahomes is the real deal, but their defense have to improve. Chargers might be good again next year. Patriots ain't going nowhere if Brady comes back, which I think he is now. I mean, I did predict one day. Well, I ain't wrong about it yet, but I thought he would walk. But the way he's talking, he want to play again next year, so he'll be there. So sleeper teams, like I said, the Browns, look out for them. Baker Mayfield look like he's the real deal, but we'll see if he hit a sophomore slump or something. And now they got tape on him. So Ravens, not just saying this because I'm a fan. I think they'd be pretty decent next year if the defense stay attack. I think Lamar Jackson going to take a next step. In NFC, still have to have the Saints and the Rams up there. If Les Breeze walk. See if Green Bay improves. She still got Aaron Rodgers. We'll see. They always a contender. Seattle, to me, still is a decent team. I think the Niners as well. So I mean, it's a lot of teams in the NFC with chances to improve themselves. So we'll see. But that's it. That's it for the NFL. Usually I have my final thoughts. Of course, like I said, I didn't write my notes for this episode, but not a lot going on. Like I said, I got let me say this. I appreciate the love. You'll see my new look, right? Got hooked up. Shout out to Belvedere Cuts. Right around if you're familiar with Baltimore, I'm right on Belvedere. I'm right off Belvedere. So it's this little spot called Belvedere Cuts. Mr. Greg, shout out to him. He hooked me up with the cut. It's been hard for me to find a barber since I moved over here in West Baltimore for work. I work for my sister, of course. So shout out to him. So definitely going to him. He very passionate about how he cut hair. And like I said, I always try to do something different every once in a while. Thanks for the love on Facebook, Instagram. I ain't gonna lie, made me feel good, made me blush. Like I said, I'm not real confident about my look, but even when I was out today, I got a lot of looks. So Make me feel good, so I appreciate it. I appreciate Mr. Gray hooking me up. Definitely will be back again. And I thank all the love on social media for my new look. So thank you so much. Like I said, I'm gonna be focused on the retro series the next few months. I'm gonna say my internet not working right. So I've been using my hotspot, which is almost expired for this month. I think the day is only the 8th, which I mentioned, the 7th, the 8th. The 7th, tomorrow's the 8th. But this video probably won't post to the 8th. But I gotta see if I can buy some more gigs for my hotspot. If so, I'll be able to post videos. I'm gonna try to post this video tonight. And I got a Resident Evil video on deck that I'm gonna try to post tonight as well. I'm gonna go back to Sonic Mania and Mega Man X. So all that retro series game. Resident Evil 2, I like it. The graphics is definitely amazing compared to the original one. Of course, it's 20 years ago, but the only thing about Resident Evil that sucked so far is, which is old school, you know, the checkpoint, the save. So you can't just save like most games. You can't just save on a dime. You gotta get to the save point. So I think I died like twice in the video and I'm gonna post, so it put me back way far, so I had to like skip cutscenes and all that, so that's gonna be probably annoying. But I like the game so far. I like the spookiness, the eeriness of those games like that. Like I said, I'm a big Silent Hill fan, if you know what that game is. Games like that, the Resident Evil series is great as well, especially from 4 to 7. I played thoroughly. 3 I played before. I played 2 before back in the day, but it wasn't my game. So I know a lot about the Resident Evil series. But anyway, that's what's coming up on the channel here. And of course I'll be doing a blog again next week. Maybe some things happen in the NBA, of course, even though it's after the trade deadline. Probably more baseball news will start coming out with Machado and Harper still not signed yet, which I'm starting to get really shocked by with training coming up. But I just want to thank everybody. Shout out to all my YouTube subscribers. My man Gerard Bitten, I've known him for about 20 years. He reached out to me yesterday on social media. So if he's somehow watching this, shout out to you, bro. Like I said, I don't have a lot of friends, but it's like I had a friend like certain parts of my life. Like I say about young life, I had a friend named Daryl. Shout out to you, bro. Even though I know he probably ain't watching this or nothing, but he was my friend when I was young. And then Gerard was my friend like during like my middle school days. And then my high school days, my man Jimmy. He was my friend like throughout high school, and then now my adult life, you know, my man Don Juan, he's been my brother for the last couple of years. So I always had like 1 or 2 got friends, you know what I mean. I never had a lot of friends, but it was nice to hear from him yesterday, well, this morning. And he checked out my page, so I'm just assuming he might have subscribed to the channel. But anyway, I'm just rambling now. I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode. I want to thank everybody again for the support. Talk to you guys next week. Look out for more videos. I'm gonna try to do something Saturday night with Resident Evil, and still only thing that's not the retro series, Call of Duty. I still might try to do that. Might try to go live if I can. But like I said, I gotta find out if I could get some more gigs on my phone. But thank you so much for watching. Troy West said thank you always for the support, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much.